Hey BRC, we're so sad that we couldn't have a week with you out here in beautiful Camp Taconic, but a few of us did drive out to hopefully bring some Camp Taconic to your homes. So this evening we have something really special for you guys. We're going to do a campfire speech, and I'm going to introduce this person even though he doesn't really need an introduction. He's the head cross-country and track coach at Weymouth High School. He's the 2010 All-State Champion coach, and he was the Boston Globe coach in 2010. He's won multiple league titles. He's one of our camp co-directors here. And yeah, I think that's as much of an introduction as he needs. So here's Mike Miller.
Woo! Normally, thank you, Julie. And this is Ryan's behind the camera as well. And we got our Camp Taconic crew over here, LK and Jason and Chris. These guys came out to say what's up. So so I want to start by talking to you guys about how weird it is that that we're not all here together tonight. And it's disappointing, obviously. This is where we were hoping to be. This is the campfire. The Taconic staff came down and lit us a campfire just to give us a little bit of a taste of what it would be like. The lake is here, the cabins are here, all the things that we are used to having and we don't get to have it. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about tonight. It's been a hard year, right? I mean, 2020 has not been one for the ages. I think most of us probably feel like we were robbed of something. Seniors, you guys were robbed of the best part of your high school career, right? You know, I don't want to give you a graduation speech, but then again, you were robbed of that, so I probably could. It would be nice for you to get one. But you didn't get to have your proms, and you didn't get to have your graduations the way that you intended them. You didn't get to come to BRC maybe for one last time. And I know that's a disappointing. And those of you guys that are headed off to college, it's going to be weird. You know, it's going to be socially distant. I know that's disappointing, and I'm not even. The last thing I'm going to do is tell any of you guys not to feel a little bit of that disappointment. You know, I was thinking about what I was going to talk to you guys about tonight, and I started running through some ideas that I had, and I kept coming back to this idea of a gift that you know, we've been given a gift, we've been given an opportunity. It doesn't really feel like that, and it hasn't really felt like that for several months. I mean, let's think about it, right? It's August 20th, and it's almost exactly 6 months since this pandemic hit, and you know, every time we thought that this was going to get better, it just kept dragging on and on and on. And then we were like, well, it'll be fine. It'll all be worth it in the fall. You know, we'll be able to go back to school, and we'll be able to have our sports, and we'll be able to have all the things that we're used to. We just have to do the right things. And then it didn't, you know, it kept lingering, it kept dragging on. And I thought really long and hard about this. So way back in March, actually March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, was the second day that we were out of school. And I was at home with my family. It was if you guys live near Boston, it was a really dreary day. We were kind of stuck in the house. And my wife put together this huge St. Patrick's Day party for my kids. I have two girls. Scarlett's 8 and Penelope is 3. She'll be 4 soon. And so she put together this huge St. Patrick's Day party, and she you know, is this amazing person who did all this work to give my kids one really fun day, knowing that there was going to be a long road. And that was a time where we were really, really scared. We did not know how bad this thing was going to get. We didn't know when it was going to end, if it was going to end. And I was really down because I was starting to get this realization that this was not going to be short. You know, we were still talking about maybe we'll get to go back to school in April and have spring track and all these other things. And we were starting to realize, like, no, I don't know if that's going to happen. And we started this remote learning thing, and that was weird and it was different. And that day, my wife put together this obstacle course, and and we kept timing the kids, and then we timed ourselves, and we were doing all these crazy things in the house, and we were running through the house and jumping over broomsticks, and I just laughed. I'd never laughed that hard. I hadn't laughed that hard in weeks. And I realized something at that moment that changed my whole perspective of this pandemic. That was the first time on a weekday that I had been able to just play with my kids for hours and hours and hours. We didn't do any schoolwork that day. We just played. And something hit me that was a gift. And for me, I changed my perspective. I said, you know what? Quarantine, remote learning, pandemic, whatever it is, it gave me an opportunity. It gave me an opportunity to take a step back, spend some quality time with my family, which as a 3-sport coach with too many responsibilities and too many jobs and too many hats that I wear, wasn't doing enough of. And so it really made me realize that I had been given a gift. I'd been given the gift of family, of relationships, and I got to spend a little bit more time with them during the last few months than I had. And I said something to my wife today, and I said, you know, I hadn't noticed that Penelope does this. And she said, yeah, you're noticing because you're with us every day now. And for the longest time, we were apart because we're so busy. You know, whether for most of you guys, you're playing 3 sports. I bet a lot of you guys run cross country, indoor and outdoor track, or you run cross country and you play basketball and lacrosse, or whatever it might be. And over the past few months, you guys probably sat down and ate dinner with your family. And some of you guys probably did that for the first time in years, because you're so go that to be able to stop and smell the roses and sit down and say, I have to be with these people, that's a gift, and that's something that we were given. I hope you guys appreciate that. I hope you appreciate that gift. And we have to start, and I'm not going to sit here and talk to you guys this whole time about the pandemic, but I am going to talk to you guys about appreciating the gifts that we're given. You know, you have to find ways to take the crappy hands that you're dealt and turn them into something that works. I decided that I was going to really ramp up my running, and in April I was running a lot. I was running about 30 miles a week, which for me is a lot. I know you guys all think that's I'm a wimp for that, but and I pulled my hamstring. I was doing too much. I wasn't stretching. I wasn't taking care of myself, and I pulled my hamstring. And I really almost got into like a state of depression because of that, because I was so happy to be running. It was the one thing that was my outlet, and now I didn't have that. And so I took up something I never thought I would do. I just started going out for really long walks. My 5-mile runs became 5-mile walks, and they took so much longer. But I was starting to enjoy walking. And then when I was able to, I started to run a little bit, and I pulled my other hamstring, which is ridiculous and a terrible thing, and I felt really sorry for myself again. And then I got to the point where I could walk a minute and jog a minute. And I was like, oh man, you know, for a while I was like, that's super lame. Like, I'm 42 and going on 80. Like, this is a terrible, what happened to me? I used to be so cool. I was never cool, but, and then I realized something. I just had to make a decision. Your attitude is a decision. How you approach the things that you're given, that's up to you. And so I'm on this routine now where I walk a minute and I jog a minute, and I do that for like 5 miles, and all of a sudden, I love it. I actually enjoy it. I mean, I hope I can run without having to stop pretty soon. I hope my legs get stronger, but in the meantime, I'm loving it. I'm enjoying that because it's what I have. It's what I've been given. It's the hand I was dealt, and I'm going to play it. And that's a gift. Your health is a gift. Look, I don't want to sit here and pretend like some of you guys aren't going through a really hard time. Right? I'm sure some of you guys have either lost relatives or you've had relatives sick. I found out just this week I have a really close friend that tested positive. He's fine. But it scared me because for the first time I had somebody that I'm close with who I'm worried about. and I'm nervous about it. And I know he's nervous. And so it has to put into perspective that no matter what we think that we're going through right now, people have it worse than us. So I bet a lot of you guys were real upset when your spring track seasons or lacrosse or baseball seasons were canceled, and I was too. But you got a fall season coming up, and I hope everybody gets to have it. I really do. It looks like we are. Looks like we're going to have a shot. But it's going to be weird, you know? There's going to be a lot of modifications. There's going to be a lot of stuff. You might have to run with masks on sometimes, or at least you're going to have to start maybe with the mask on. And you might have to do social distancing. Maybe your coach tells you got to stay 6 feet apart or whatever. And maybe the races are going to look wacky. Maybe it's going to be a few people going off at once and everybody getting timed in intervals or something. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like. But I'm going to ask you this. Before you complain about that, call a person who was a senior last spring and tell them that you don't care about what they just went through. Because that's the same thing as complaining about what you've been given. If we get to have a season, whatever it looks like, it's a gift. These are the gifts that we're going to be given. And these are the gifts that we're going to continue to be given. I'm so happy that I got to come out here. This was a choice. I made a choice, Julie made a choice, Ryan made a choice to come out here, drive almost 3 hours each way, take basically a whole day off, get home after midnight. And we made that choice, and I made that choice because I wanted to physically stand here at Camp Taconic, which is outside of my own home, my favorite place on earth. And I wanted to stand here for 20 minutes and talk to you guys at my fire, at my lake, by my cabins, without my people, but to remind you guys that this place is a gift. 365 days from now, we're going to be here. All of us. We're all going to be here together. All right? And it's going to be I'm not even going to say, I'm not going to embarrass it by saying it's going to be the best year of camp we ever had. It is going to blow away any other year of camp we ever had. You know why? Because it's going to be a gift. So next year, when we walk into this place and when we smell the fresh air, all right, we're going to think about all the great things that this place brings us and all the little tiny things that along the way, maybe the runs are too fast, maybe the weather's too hot, all right, maybe, you know, Coach Downan's lumens are too bright, whatever it is that gets on you know, gets under your skin, you're going to let it go because you're going to be so happy to be here. Let me tell you something, guys. Without the people, it's not the same. Without the program, it's not the same. But driving down that driveway today, I felt something I haven't felt in months. I cannot wait to feel it with you guys a year from now. I am so happy to be able to talk to you guys. I am so happy to be here at my fire, at my lake, at my camp. And I cannot wait for next year. Next year is a gift. And I can tell you right now, it is one I'm going to really, really appreciate opening. Guys, thank you. I love you. BRC, we will see you in 2021. Good night.
Woo!
It was okay?
That was awesome.
That was great.